Hello my loyal companions, welcome back to the channel and to part 2 of the best bomb plant locations in Rogue Company. Today we're going to be featuring Factory, Windward, Skyfell and The Arena. This 3-part series is designed to show you the best bomb plant locations on these different maps and also show you the angles at which you can hold that bomb location from as an attacker. If you do go on to enjoy the video or you just want to see daily, educational Rogue Company content, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. But for now, let's get into it. So the first location is going to be here on the B side, and this is going to be your most default plant for this site. And it's right here behind this box due to the safety you can have as you plant it. Generally some smoke, some vibe poison is great to accompany this. You can then sit back and hold it from these further angles. I do think you can get pinched quite easily here, but generally if you spread out and hold multiple angles so you kind of cover the back as well, you tend to be pretty good by just setting up in some of these positions. And I do really like this plant. It's a very standard and safe plant as you're pushing onto B, and doesn't mean you have to take the whole site. However, you can decide to push further up and actually push on right onto this plant as well. It will require some form of smoke grenade or poison to help you. And in this situation, you can play the same default positions that I just showed you. You can also go back and play from mid all the way here because you have the angle on it. And you can even go further back to here. This is a really good plan and one that I do not see many people using, but it has come in clutch for me in a few instances and might for you also. And remember, you can still hold it from these other positions that I mentioned as well as you move into this standard location, up close or further away. It just gives you a bit more variety. Now though, this is a good plan if you're able to take the entire site and move straight through. You can plan for the defense, a good option if you are solo, so you're in a 1v2 situation or 1v1 situation. This is a pretty good one because the enemies have to funnel towards you, and there are certain angles you can hold it, either from right at the back or from this little room. Also, you just got to be able to watch your side while you do it. And the last plant for B is actually going to be this open plant area, which people don't normally use, and I wouldn't recommend all of the time, but if you're able to get it off again in this 1v1, 1v2 situation, it can be pretty good. And you just have to go back and hold it from one of these locations. There isn't a large amount of variety of location. It's very similar to the defense one, just slightly more open. And you can hold it from a few more angles. It's just risky to try and get that plant down in the first place, but a good option if you're able to, and you are able to fall back to one of these positions. Now moving on to the A side though, this is going to be your attack side spawn plant, so you're playing for the attacker side spawn. And it's also more of a default plant as well. I use the smoke grenades there to block off the cubby there because you can get shot, and also the other doorway onto the site. And then you just fall straight back off the bomb. You want some people a little bit closer, but generally, as you're going to see here, there are some really long angles you can hold as well onto this bomb that give you a bit more variety. And you want to be able to watch mid and your back as well so you don't get flanked, and just have probably some sort of sniper coming to some of these back angles, or maybe even a DMR and just holding them from all the way back here, in fact. And these are good angles to hold for this particular plant. And then the other plant for A site here is going to be for the defense spawn. So that was the attack spawn. This is now the defense spawn. You want to run straight up to this part of the building, plant it right in the doorway and fall back ever so slightly to get angles onto the bomb. There are a few different rat spots you can sit at, but you do have to be careful. And particularly this jump up location I'm showing you now is a really interesting one. And I really like using it because you can see so much of the angles of the entire approach onto the site, as you're seeing me get here. And then you can also fall back into cubby and watch it from this angle as well, or even go onto this rat spot, although for this particular bomb plant it's not amazing, but this one can work if you're able to rat around on top of this box. Looking now at Windward and the A plant, I'd actually smoke off the little cut here, or you can just clear it. As long as that cut is clear, you can plant in this location, and this is going to be for your attacking side. And I'm just pointing out these angles here because you have to be careful not to put the bomb too close to those, or they can be diffused from cover. Put it out in the open like this though, there's so many angles you can fall back to hold. Got to be careful of your flank through mid though, but generally there's a lot of angles you can hold from bar here. And one of my favorite spots is actually right here because you have great control of cut and of the approach there as well. You can also fall back to cannons if you want and watch it from this angle. There's a lot of angles you really can, and the longer angle I'm about to show you now as you jump off this side of cannons is really good for your longer range weapon as well, like a sniper, and can get some really good angles. And then you're also available to go for a really nice flank through mid if you're able to get it off. The next position you can plant for is actually going to be for the defensive side spawn here on this A site, and you're going to flood around the back and plant right on this edge here, and then fall back to the defender's side of the spawn, which I think is a really good option for you as well. If you're able to push back and clear this angle, you can rat right here under this particular part of the wall, or fall back to one of these other locations because you have a really good line of sight for this bomb. It also is a great one to counter the anvil shield as well, for even further back if you want. you can jump up onto this patio area also to get an angle. Just got to be careful that you're not getting pushed from the left-hand side. You can also plant further back as well for the attacker's side by planting in this location, falling back, and you'll see as I make the run exactly where you can fall back to. It's again another really great long angle. It's not the same as the zip play, but it does offer you some good angles to watch it. Basically all the way back here from mid, as you can see that bomb. If you have a sniper or a long range weapon, that could be pretty good for you. And as I push up closer towards the bomb, there's other angles you could hold for shorter range weapons like the ARs, and even getting closer for SMGs and things like that. This is particularly another good one you can definitely hold, or you can go to the back of the site and hold it from here as well if you get somebody ratting around here also. The next spot is actually going to be playing for the defensive side of the map. By planting right here under the staircase as far as you can, there's a few different angles you can hold to watch this bomb. And remember, there's a few different places you could actually plant it to get this angle. That is a pretty good one there. You can watch both sides of it from different positions. You can even go up to this little box here and have good cover to your right, or play up in this little tree if you want to hide behind this planter, which I like to do as well sometimes. And then the last plant spot is going to be the sneaky spot right here in the corner. It doesn't offer a lot of great angles, but can confuse the enemies for a few moments, and that might be enough for you to get in position, kill them, and let the bomb go off. There are a few different angles you can hold, but none that are particularly amazing like the other ones I've shown you. Okay, we're now going to be looking at Skyfell and focusing on the B site first, and this is going to be the most standard plant I see and recommend, which is the Lambo plant. I like to smoke off one of those doorways just to stop the people from mid coming onto you, and you want to plant right there where I showed you, so you can fall back to Lambo right here and cover it from multiple different angles and force the attackers onto the site where they are, force the defenders onto the site where you can defend the bomb from, and probably get some pre-nades off and things like that to try and flood them off of that position, because there's not a lot of cover there, and they do have to push you pretty hard if they want to retake this bomb, and you have more angles and advantage going into this as you're trying to defend the bomb from Lambo. Again, one I definitely recommend you guys to try in your games. Just make sure you have all the angles covered. The other plant that I like on B, and there are a few, is this attacker spawn one as well. By planting it right here in this corner, you can fall all the way back across the museum area and watch it from different areas. One I do like is the complete opposite side. Remember, Skyfell was a mirrored map, and you can watch it from right here. This does protect you from mid in somewhat because you have these angles. You can also fall further back and jump up here to get some angles if you want to play with even more cover. And then you can also watch it from this Lambo area on the attacker side as well, which is a really, really important one and definitely one looking at. If you go across the zip, you can watch it again from the other Lambo also. So a few different positions you can hold, including going up to pillar, and you can watch it from there as well. Basically, it's a very good open plant that allows you a lot of angles to hold it from. And you can even go hold it from mid doorways. Depending on where you know the defenders are coming from for the defuse, you can play around the different positions and where you want it. Now that if we move to the A side of the map, this is your default plant. This is the most common one I see and is the safest one, as you probably block off the window in some way and make sure no one's through aquarium. You can fall back and hold some of these standard positions that will come in quite a lot of these in these bomb angle holds. Is these positions, particularly this one right here. I like to throw the knife there. Maybe you can just stop whoever's on there, use an incendiary grenade, use vibe poison, whatever it be. You can definitely stop the diffuser very easily from these positions. This angle helps look through the window really easily. Just gotta make sure you are watching your back as well though as you go for this plant. And now we're gonna show you a plant for aquarium, which is slightly further up and does very much the same thing, except you have an extra angle for aquarium. The reason you may plant for the default plant over the aquarium plant is just due to safety. You can get killed quite easily if you plant for aquarium. As you can see, this is the angle you can take through aquarium to see it. So you got to be careful as you do this. And then the last plant that we're going to look at going onto this A site is actually going to be the window plant. Now this one doesn't get used very often, but is a pretty good one and I like it. You plant it right up here in the window. Then you have quite a few angles to hold, including the original ones that we've spoken about, not behind the little box up here, but behind some of these walls. You can see it. And actually this particular angle gives you a lot of room to go even further back to this wall, or as we go even one step further, this is a great angle for a sniper to jump up onto this box and snipe through this way for anyone trying to defuse. However, you can play it a lot closer, and that is the design of this, to play right up on this wall, get some picks off potentially here, or fall slightly further back down this long alleyway and hold it from one of these positions such as here. Got to be careful of your mid though, or even further back down into this one also, which is pretty good. And then the final map featured here is going to be Arena, as we look at the A side first. This is going to be playing for the attacker side of the map by sitting around bar and that sort of open area on the A approach. So you can sit right here on bar, which is a good rat spot, but kind of predictable nowadays. You can fall back slightly to here, but you do have to be careful of your side. That right-hand side through mid is really dangerous, so you want someone watching that, whether it be from this position or pushing all the way up to the stairs to get a different angle. Again, a lot of angles here on Arena, so you gotta be careful. And you can have someone ratting on this wall as well, looking at the bomb also, or pushed even further up for another quite close quarter spot. Another place you can plant on A is actually the opposite side and the opposite sofa on the defensive side, although there aren't a lot of angles to actually hold this from. This is pretty much the only one that gives you a really good vantage point onto the bomb, and this is good for that 1v2 sort of situation. As we move on to B now though, we're looking at a mid plant, which is the area we just crossed from, placing it right in this doorway. Again, be careful of anvil shields because they can completely block that doorway off. And then you're going to fall back and play from mid. From many different angles, you have a lot of good lines of sight onto this bomb if you play from, including one I'm going to show you at the end of this particular clip. You can hold it from these angles, you can fall even further back towards this barricade here and watch it from here, or at least have a close angle on it. And you can come around all the way from the side as well, and just hold as many angles to defend this particular doorway as possible. By planning in the open, you're looking really good here. And now I'm going to show you a really good rat spot, which a couple of my friends have used really well to actually defend this bomb. That is by jumping up right on here last minute and shooting the diffuser. That is a really, really good spot. And the last plant of this video, and the last one for B here on Arena, is actually going to be playing for the defensive spawn. By planting right in the middle here, again, remember, don't plant too close to the cover because they will just be able to defuse it easily. You have a few rat spots very close to it you can sit at, but the main benefit is how far you can sit back in the defensive side spawn to actually watch this bomb. As you'll see me move into those locations now, you can fall all the way back to this barricade here, a really good safe spot with a great vantage onto the bomb, or jump up even further up here and get a vantage here by being a little bit sneaky. Good for a DMR or an AR in this sort of position right now. Okay then guys, that takes the end of the video. And remember, if you haven't seen part 1 of this series, make sure you go check that out after this video. But if you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also come follow me on twitch.tv/RADTHARGAMING, see live gameplay commentaries, guides, Q&As, and playing with viewers. If you're buying anything from the Epic Games Store, whether it be Rogue Company, Rogue Bucks, or anything from any other Epic Games, make sure you use my creator code RADTHARGAMING at checkout to help support this channel with no extra cost to yourself. All the links you're gonna need it down in the description below, guys, but for now, I hope you have a fantastic day. And remember, be loyal, be brave, be relentless, and I'll catch you in the next video.